Hello everyone, and welcome to my General Hospital official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Rocco is rushed to the hospital with alcohol poisoning, and Spoiler offers to tell Drew who drugged him for a price. Monday, May 5, 2025. On General Hospital, Joss returns Emma's drive. Carly urges Lulu not to tell Dante about his child, and Willow believes she knows who poisoned Drew. Willow returns home to see Carly with Nina. Carly claimed that she wanted to check on her grandchildren. Willow claims she is their mother, thus she must go through her to see them. Willow is not up for this because she is fatigued after her trip to Germany, where Michael refused to see her. Carly believes Michael has wised up to her, just as she has to Drew. Willow claims Drew was drugged, yet she still believes in him. Willow has a theory. Carly departs, and Willow asks Nina if she is an idiot for believing Drew. Nina points out that Willow was upset a few hours earlier. What changed? Willow claims she had time to think, but none of it makes sense. She and Drew don't hold secrets, and she knows him intimately. Nina wonders if it's possible that she wants to believe Drew, because she's changed her entire life for him. It would not only be about Drew's decisions, but also her own. Willow says she has been asking herself the same question. Nina tells Willow that Drew has clearly been unfaithful, and he is not the man she believes he is. She claims Drew pursued her when she was still married, which is not something a good man would do. She must think long and hard before forgiving him. Willow believes Drew was drugged, and she suspects they both know who did it. Nina asks Willow what she is thinking. Willow believes the escort gave Drew the pills but was coerced into it. Someone hired her to set up Drew. Carly prevents Lulu from telling Dante the truth. At Lulu's, she is taken aback when Dante tells her he also loves her. She didn't expect him to say that. Dante responds, "Me too." He admits he feels the same way she does, but he can't think about it because he's still in love with Sam. Lulu understands, which is why she never wanted to tell him, and Maxie had no right to tell him. Dante informs Lulu that there is still something between them, but he believes she is putting her concerns about their predicament onto Brooke Lynn. Lulu deems Dante's statement stupid, claiming he wouldn't say it if he knew. Dante responds, "Knew what?" Lulu claims Brooke Lynn has done some terrible things but does not go into detail. Dante snaps at her to stop avoiding the issue and tell him what Brooke Lynn did. Carly appears unexpectedly and inquires as to the state of affairs. Dante runs away, claiming he's had enough. Lulu opens up to Carly about their dispute and decides to tell Dante the truth about Brooke Lynn, but Carly says, "Don't you dare." Carly recalls how Robin shattered her, Michael, and Jason's life by revealing AJ as Michael's father, and Jason and Robin were never the same. Lulu claims AJ had a right to know the truth, but Carly claims it was not Robin's place to tell him, and it is not Lulu's responsibility to say anything to Dante. Lulu inquires, "If you knew Jason had a child out there, you wouldn't tell him?" Dante is as essential to her as Jason is to Carly. Carly confesses Lulu got her, but revealing this secret will make her regret it for the rest of her life. Carly believes Brooke Lynn's son may live a good life without knowing he is adopted. She needs to make sure she is doing this because she believes Dante deserves to know, or because she despises Brooke Lynn so much. Tracy squares off with Lois. Tracy inquires of Lois in the Quartermaine living room about her great-grandson's whereabouts. Lois wonders how she found out. Tracy is glad she isn't denying it. Lois declares, "Screw it, let's do this." Tracy recounts what she knows and asks if giving the baby up for adoption was Brooke Lynn's idea or her own. Lois claims the decision was Brooke Lynn's, and she backed her. Tracy believes Lois has been fooling this family for decades, forcing Brooke Lynn to keep this secret. Lois claims she did exactly what Brooke Lynn asked, and the only thing she did was persuade her daughter that she wasn't a bad person for becoming pregnant. She did her best, and the consequences have weighed heavily on her ever since. Lois informs Tracy that if she doesn't trust her, it is her problem. Tracy responds, "Wrong. Brooke Lynn has no idea where her son is, but you do." Lois claims it was a closed adoption, but Tracy believes she intentionally excluded the Quartermaines because they had the money to aid Brooke Lynn at the time. Lois claims this was not about money, which is all her family cares about. Brooke Lynn stated that she was not ready to be a mother, and did not want to follow in her father's footsteps by abandoning her kid with the QS, as Tracy had done with Dillian and Ned on Lila and Monica. Lois understands how the QS operate, and her grandson deserves better. Tracy yells that she gave the kid up for adoption because she dislikes the family. Lois informs her that wasn't the cause, but rather a bonus. Tracy adds if Lois finds them annoying, she can go. Lois refuses, and Tracy refers to her as a piece of work. She can't wait for the day when she'll be free of this house, and she believes that day is coming soon. Drew pieces things together. Drew recalls being with Tracy at the Port Charles Grill, but does not inform Mac. He says everything is foggy and he'll let Mac know when he remembers more. When he remembers who did it, he wants to nail the individual. Deanna later gives Drew fluids and assures him that his memory will return in due course. She also proposes that he check his phone's GPS to see where he might have been last night. Drew discovers that he arrived to the hospital and recalls meeting with Portia. Marco arrives at the hospital, and Lucas hopes he isn't sick. They flirt, and Marco says that he was simply retrieving files for a client and happened to run into him. They go to the vending machines while Lucas is on break, then to Lucas' office. They discuss their date, which was memorable due of Drew's performance at the Savoy. Lucas and Marco are both thrilled about their next date. Brad comes into Portia's office with his new leverage. He acquired Kay for her and pulled all of Drew's medical information, so she could decide out the best dose for him. He knows Portia was responsible for Drew's party the night before. Portia claims she did not drug Drew, but Brad did. Portia claims no one would believe an ex-con over her, and she knows he'll use this to blackmail her again. She orders him out of her office and tells him to leave her alone, or he will be punished for drugging Drew. Brad storms out. Brad moans over Portia until he notices Lucas and Marco in his office, sharing some chips. Brad approaches Drew and informs him about something that might interest him. Drew insists Brad wants nothing. Brad tells him, "Not even who organized your body shop party?" Drew is suddenly fascinated. Brad, on the other hand, wants Drew to make his efforts worthwhile. Beach party disaster. At the beach party, Emma discovers that her thumb drive containing her work is missing. Joss holds it in her hands. They begin looking around and Gio asks if she has a backup. Emma frets out since she doesn't have one. Joss pretended to locate it in the sand, and Emma embraced her, saying, "You saved my life." Danny eventually finds Rocco alone and passed out. He attempts to wake Rocco up, but he does not respond. Rocco finally arrives, explains that he was playing a drinking game and then passed out again. Danny runs to get Gio to rescue Rocco. Rocco's still in and out of it. Danny claims they need to get him home without anyone finding out. Emma shouts out to Gio, who rushes to her, but swears Danny not to tell Emma what is going on because she is Anna's granddaughter. Gio offers an excuse to Emma for why he needs to go. Soon Gio rejoins Danny, and they pull Rocco to the boathouse. Back at the party, Vaughn checks in with Joss. She claims to have returned the drive to Emma and informed Emma and Gio that she had seen him on campus several times, which is how they met. She asks if he has any other questions. Vaughn inquires, "Are you homesick yet?" She mentions that she is at home, but he points out that she is only pretending that this is her current existence. Joss recognizes and acknowledges that she misses portions of her previous life, but those parts were gone whether she joined the WSB or not. Vaughn decides to leave, joking that he will see her around school. Later, Emma and Joss hang around and discuss college. Emma thanks her again for discovering her passion. Without it, she may have left the research position. Emma also remembers how much fun she had with Cam and Spencer, and how much she misses them. She claims Spencer was something else. He could be your best buddy and then stab you in the back, but that does not make him a horrible person. Joss warns Emma not to worry out if she does not obtain the research position. Rocco's in trouble. Gio and Danny take Rocco to the boathouse. Danny offers to camp out with him, but Gio insists on staying because he has previous experience with this. Danny walks up to the main house to make coffee and obtain aspirin. When Gio is alone, he finds Rocco's phone has gone missing. He instructs him to stay still, and that he will go look for it at the beach if someone calls him. That's when Cody appears. Cody noticed the lights were on and inquired as to what had transpired. Gio tells everything he knows about Rocco. Cody checks on Rocco. When he notices his breathing is abnormal, He demands that they take him to the hospital immediately. Gio and Cody transport Rocco to the hospital, where a doctor takes charge and treats him for probable alcohol poisoning. Back at the Quartermaines, Dante confronts Lois and screams about Brooke Lynn and Lulu's relationship, and how Lulu refuses to let it go. Lois argues that strong women don't always get along, and that he should stay out of it if he doesn't want to drive himself crazy. Dante then gets a call from Cody, who informs him about Rocco. Lois agrees to accompany Dante to the hospital, and Dante says he will call Lulu along the way. Dante, Lois, and Lulu arrive at the hospital, and Cody and Gio tell them what they know. On the next General Hospital, Dante holds Gio accountable for Rocco's illness, Carly advises Danny to accept responsibility, and Brad offers to tell Drew everything for the right price. General Hospital spoilers for Tuesday, May 6th. Brad's betrayal, Ava's fury, Dante's warning, Carly guilts Danny. On the next GH, betrayal strikes deep, guilt consumes, fury erupts, and warnings ring out. The General Hospital spoilers for Tuesday, May 6, 2025 are here. Drew Kane gathers important information in tomorrow's episode. Rocco Falconeri apologized. Plus, Lucky Spencer gives Christina Corinthos Davis a reality check. Continue reading to learn more about what will happen in the next episode of ABC's soap opera. Drew Kane's intel. In tomorrow's episode, Drew will learn significant information. Fans watch today's episode as Brad Cooper addressed Portia Robinson. When Portia refused, Brad walked into Drew's hospital room and proposed a bargain. In a sample clip, Brad assures the shady congressman that for the right price, he will tell him everything. Rocco Falconeri's fate. At the hospital, everyone is waiting to see if Rocco is okay after passing out during a drinking game. Cody Bell noticed Rocco's breathing was irregular and took him to the hospital. Doctors are currently pumping the boy's stomach, but Dante Falconeri blames the wrong person. Fearing for his son's life, Dante informs Giovanni Gio Palmieri that if anything happens to Rocco, it will be the violinist's responsibility. That's rather fascinating, given that it's not even Joe's fault. Number 2, Dante threatens his secret son. I wonder how Dante will react when he discovers the truth. In tomorrow's episode, Lois Chiarullo makes a plea to Dante. We know Rocco survives since he subsequently apologizes to his loved ones. Meanwhile, Carly Spencer tells Danny Morgan that he should feel bad and accept responsibility. Christina Corinthos Davis accusations. According to General Hospital previews for the next episode, Christina will continue to converse with Lucky. Christina informed him that Alexis Davis was planning to get her committed. Lucky is correct that Alexis isn't entirely wrong, as Christina has been acting strangely lately, including damaging someone's brakes. Alexis is on the hot seat once more. Alexis will also speak out to Diane Miller about her familial predicament. Alexis admits that it is up to her to solve the mess. Tuesday, May 6, 2025. Fans will also witness Ava Jerome questioning Rick Lansing. In the car, Ava asks, "We're supposed to be a team, aren't we?" Which narrative are you most looking forward to watching on Tuesday, May 6, 2025? General Hospital recap May 5th. Willow believes Drew, Tracy, and Lois clash. Rocco in danger. Tracy's rage erupts when she confronts Lois about Brooke Lynn's secret kid. Meanwhile, Drew is searching for the person who drugged him. Monday, May 5th, 2025, was a busy day in Port Charles. In case you missed it, here's a General Hospital recap. Brad Cooper dislikes being the underdog, so approaching Portia Robinson felt really good. She had him get Drew Kane's medical paperwork, and then bring her enough ketamine to knock him unconscious. Brad walks in making demands, assuming that he has regained control. Instead, Portia tells him that she expected just this from a crook like him, and that she has ensured that he is the one who is punished for drugging the congressman. Brad storms out, only to find his ex, Lucas Jones, in the lounge flirting with Marco Rios. Meanwhile, Drew remains at GH, first speaking with Max Scorpio about being drugged and wanting the person responsible prosecuted, and then being checked out by a nurse. After the nurse leaves, Brad informs Drew that he will provide him all the information he wants about his drugging for the proper price. General Hospital recap May 5th. Willow believes Drew, Tracy, and Lois clash. Rocco in danger. Willow still wants to trust Drew. Willow Corinthos walks over to Nina Reeves and finds her talking to Carly Spencer. She becomes hostile with Carly, telling her that she must phone before approaching her or her children. They exchange barbs and Carly departs. Willow then explains that Drew had been drugged and asks Nina if she was wrong to trust him. Nina digs in and informs her daughter that Drew is lying to her. Believe what she has seen, not what he says. Willow claims that she and Michael have always held secrets from one another, but she still believes Drew tells her everything. General Hospital recap May 5th. Willow believes Drew, Tracy and Lois clash. Rocco in danger. Lulu nearly slips, tells Dante the truth. The General Hospital recap for Monday, May 5th, reveals that Cody Bell saved Rocco Falconeri, Carly Spencer hushed Lulu Spencer, and Brad Cooper was ready to expose Portia Robinson. Carly pretended to be visiting Nina Reeves to check on Wiley and Amelia Corinthos. Willow Corinthos made it apparent that Carly would have to go through it again, and she ended up shouting about Michael Corinthos' refusal to visit her in Baden-Baden. When the conversation shifted to Drew Kane's fiasco, Willow defended him since she believed he was drugged into behaving that way. Carly scoffed as Willow stood by her boyfriend before fleeing. Willow inquired whether Nina felt she was an idiot for trusting Drew's version of the story. Nina wondered whether Willow simply wanted to trust Drew because she had flipped her life upside down for him. Despite Nina's attempts to persuade Willow that Drew was unfaithful, Willow was certain that the escort drugged Drew and that someone hired her to set him up. Drew kept silent about his blurry Tracy Quartermaine flashback at GH, but he promised Max Scorpio that his memory will return soon and that he intended to find out who drugged him. Drew took some fluids and used his phone's GPS to retrace his steps from the night before. Drew had a hazy memory of meeting Portia at the hospital after realizing he had been there. Brad wanted a promotion in Portia's office, citing his increased leverage. Brad then reminded Portia that she had him investigate Drew's medical records and grab ketamine at the exact dosage he required. Brad acted as if he was in charge again now that Drew's scandal had gone public. Portia stated that no one would believe an ex-convict's word over her, and she proposed Brad be punished for drugging Drew before kicking him out of her office. Brad discovered Drew in an exam room after witnessing Lucas Jones and Marco Rios' flirtatious exchange. Brad piqued Drew's interest by offering to reveal who was behind his body shop party, but he expected something in exchange. Dante Falconeri pressed Lulu to stop dancing around the house and tell him what Brooklyn Quartermaine had done. Carly interrupted Lulu before she could say anything, and she was pleased she did when they were alone. After reflecting on Robin Scorpio Drake revealing Michael's paternity secret, Carly insisted Brooklyn's secret was not Lulu's to reveal. Carly predicted that if Lulu revealed the truth about Brooklyn and Dante's kid, she would regret it for the rest of her life. Lois Cerullo tried to shut off Tracy's concerns regarding her great-grandson's whereabouts at the Quartermaine house by claiming the adoption was closed. Tracy felt Lois pushed Brooklyn into the adoption to keep the baby away from the Quartermaines, but Lois said it was merely a bonus, not the aim. Emma Scorpio Drake hugged Jocelyn Jacks and thanked her for saving her life after she feigned to locate the now-corrupted thumb drive in the sand during the campfire. Jocelyn ultimately intimated that it wouldn't be the end of the world if Emma didn't receive the research assistant position, but Emma was desperate to get it. Meanwhile, Danny Morgan battled to wake up an intoxicated Rocco, who ultimately murmured something taking shots as part of a drinking game. When Danny summoned Giovanni Gio Palmieri to assist, he pointed out that no one could learn about their campfire crashing. Rocco awoke briefly and seemed fine, so Gio figured he just needed to sleep it off. After Gio and Danny had taken Rocco to the boathouse, Cody came along and saw him unconscious on the cot. Cody recognized Rocco's breathing was shallow and told Gio they needed to bring him to the hospital. At GH, the medical team planned to treat Rocco for alcohol toxicity. Meanwhile, Dante was with Lois when he received Cody's call about Rocco's hospitalization, and he rushed over with Lois. Lulu promptly joined Dante at the hospital after receiving news updates. According to Cody, the doctor suspected alcohol intoxication and had Rocco's stomach pumped. Gio brought up the beach party and tried to explain that they weren't there together, but Dante pushed him to start talking now. According to General Hospital spoilers, Dante will soon play the blame game, so don't miss any of the rising drama. Editors independently choose all of the products and services displayed. However, Soaps.com may earn a commission on orders placed through its retail links, and the merchant may obtain certain auditable data for financial reporting. Our children frequently follow in our footsteps, And while some pursue careers in the same fields as their parents, others embark on their own. So, it's safe to say that some things just run in the family, and Rina Sofer from General Hospital is a proud mama. The ABC serial star shared a snapshot of her daughter, whom she shares with director/producer Sanford Bookstaver, and informed fans that Avalon is directing her first film. "Look, my big girl is directing her first film in college," Sofer cheered. "I am very proud of you, Avalon, and I can't wait to see Jane Street and all you do in the future." However, her celebrity mother had one question. "Do I need to audition for you?" And Avalon's father, who has directed countless performances, including a handful from the Chicago franchise, could not be more proud. "I am the proudest father in the world," Bookstaver stated while sharing the same photo on Instagram. Avalon is directing her first major film, Jane Street, at Northwestern University. We're fellow directors. Vanessa Marcel, Sofer's friend and former General Hospital star, chimed in with a loud "yay" in the comments. Fans cheered her on as well, offering stories about their own children. "And we wish Sofer's daughter all the best as she embarks on this new career." According to General Hospital spoilers, Tracy Quartermaine is aware that Brooke Lynn Quartermaine placed a kid for adoption while she was in high school, and Lulu Spencer is keeping this information from her. Tracy wants answers and has asked Lois Chirulo where her great-grandson is. Tracy isn't having it with Lois and won't receive the answers she wants, but she will want to get them, and Lulu might be able to help. Tracy Quartermaine confronts Lulu Spencer. Tracy would confront Lulu about her role in everything, and how she had been keeping this knowledge from Brooke Lynn. Lulu would shortly understand that Brooke Lynn had failed to mention that Dante Falconeri is the father of the baby she had given up for adoption. Tracy would find this piece intriguing, and Lulu would tell her about her adoption article and what she knows about the adoption. Tracy Quartermaine and Lulu Spencer put the pieces together. Tracy and Lulu would talk, and Lulu would tell Tracy about her findings from Martin Gray's papers. Lulu would recall her conversation with Gio Palmieri at Dante's birthday party, and figure that he would be roughly the same age as Brooke Lynn's kid. Tracy would have a light bulb moment and understand that Lois did not give the baby up for adoption. Instead, she gave the infant to Joe's mother to raise as her own, as she is a member of Lois' extended Bensonhurst family. They would both be surprised to learn that Gio is Brooke Lynn and Dante's son, and Tracy would be relieved that Gio is a Quartermaine because she has grown fond of him, but enraged that Lois hid the truth from everyone. She would tell Lulu to keep quiet about it until she figured out how to handle the problem. Tracy Quartermaine interviews Lois Chirulo. Tracy would rush back to the mansion and tell Lois the truth about Joe's true origin. She has put everything together and knows the truth. Although Lois would try to deny it, Tracy would know she was lying and would press her to accept it, citing all of the evidence and coincidences Tracy had witnessed. Lois would be compelled to accept the truth, and Tracy would advise her that she needed to tell Brooke Lynn and everyone else the truth right away, even though it was already too late. If she ever hopes to be forgiven by anyone in her family, she must tell everyone. Drew threatens to kill Nina after Willow informs him that Nina drugged him. General Hospital spoilers hint that Drew Kane is down, but not out. Willow Corinthos appears to be on the verge of forgiving him. Also, she recently overheard her mother, Nina Reeves, and Carly Spencer discussing how Nina brought Drew down. Willow will eventually approach Nina and tell Drew the awful truth. However, Drew appears to suspect Tracy Quartermaine. Willow Corinthos confronts Nina Reeves for drugging Drew Kane. Nina would be over herself after overhearing Nina and Carly discussing how Nina was to blame for Drew's death and ask Willow to let her explain. Willow wouldn't hear of it and told Nina that she would never trust her again. She can't believe Nina fell so low and attacked Drew in such a way only to end their relationship. Willow tells her that their relationship is finished, and she should have realized Drew was telling the truth and was not to blame. Willow would storm out, leaving Nina upset. Willow Corinthos informs Drew Kane that Nina Reeves was responsible. Drew would be furious, believing Tracy was to blame for drugging him, but Willow would come home and inform him that Tracy was not to blame. It was Nina. She overheard her and Carly discuss it. Drew would become further angrier, telling Willow that he was going to confront Nina and apologize for bothering him. Willow would encourage him to leave everything alone. Removing her from Nina's life is punishment for her. Drew would argue that he should have his say and confront Nina. Drew leaves to confront Nina. Drew Cain visits Nina Reeves. Drew would rush to Nina's apartment and confront her. He would scold her about what she had done and how it had entirely backfired on her. Nina would assure him that it was worth it because she would do anything to keep Willow away from him. Drew would tell her that she would never end his and Willow's relationship, and that she was done interfering in their lives. Nina would inform him that she was going to tell Willow the truth. She and Drew were having sex. Nina would claim that she has nothing to lose at this time. Drew Cain threatens to kill Nina Reeves. When Nina threatened to tell Willow the truth about Drew and Nina's previous relationship, Drew threatened to murder her if she did. He would mean it. Nina would giggle and tell Drew he couldn't stop her. Drew would confront her and threaten to kill her if she told Willow anything. She not only drugged him and threatened his connection with Willow, if she told Willow what transpired between them, he would not hesitate. Drew claims he will kill her with his bare hands. Nina would be astonished, scared, and confused what to do at this moment. Drew has been liberated, making him more deadly than ever, and who knows what he may do. The tension in Port Charles rose to new heights as the latest episode of General Hospital included high-stakes drama, intense confrontations, and stunning revelations. The day began with a heartbreaking situation involving Rocco Falconeri, whose life was hanging in the balance following a severe accident. Meanwhile, Carly Corinthos had a furious discussion with Lulu Spencer, which resulted in Carly making it obvious that she would not tolerate any involvement in her affairs. Across town, Brad Cooper was observed making moves that might spell doom for Portia Robinson, appearing to be prepared to divulge secrets that could upend her life. The episode began with Rocco Falconeri in serious jeopardy following an incident at the park. The small youngster was playing near a construction site when a section of scaffolding collapsed, trapping him beneath the debris. Panic broke out as spectators raced to aid, but Cody Bell emerged as the hero of the hour. Cody, who had been close, did not hesitate to take action. With quick thought and pure perseverance, he was able to lift the huge metal beams off Rocco, releasing him just as emergency personnel arrived. The scene was hectic and Rocco's mother, Lulu Spencer, arrived moments later, her face filled with panic. When she witnessed her kid being placed into the ambulance, she turned to Cody with teary eyes and thanked him profusely for his bravery. Cody, ever the humble sort, brushed aside the compliments, stating that he simply did what anyone else would have done. Those who knew Cody's history recognized that this act of courage was another step on his path to redemption. As Rocco was rushed to General Hospital, attention went to Carly Corinthos, who was in the midst of a heated argument with Lulu. The two women had been at odds for weeks, with Lulu determined to investigate Carly's business operations, particularly her recent connection with the Jerome Group. Carly, who never backs down from a fight, had reached her limit. When Lulu tried to corner her in the hospital hallway and demand answers about her shady connections, Carly cut her off with frigid precision. "You need to stay out of my life, Lulu," Carly admonished, her voice low and forceful. "Whatever you think you know, whatever vengeance you're holding, discard it. Because if you don't, you'll be sorry." Lulu, never one to back down, retaliated, accusing Carly of using her power to control people around her. Carly's steely glare, however, made it plain that this was not a bluff. The exchange left Lulu obviously disturbed, but it was unclear whether she would heed Carly's admonition. Meanwhile, Brad Cooper was making decisions that might have serious ramifications for Portia Robinson. Brad, who had kept a low profile since his release from prison, was spotted meeting with an unknown figure in a dimly lighted alley. The meeting was quiet but serious, and Brad handed over a file containing documents. "This is everything," he said, his face bleak. "If this gets out, Portia's finished." The ramifications of his remarks were staggering. Brad looked to be planning to reveal Portia's deepest secrets, potentially as retaliation for past betrayals. Portia, oblivious of the impending storm, was busy in the hospital, tending to patients and enjoying a nice moment with her husband, Curtis Ashford. The juxtaposition between her calm day and the danger lurking in the shadows only added to the excitement. Back at the hospital, Rocco's condition improved, much to the relief of his family. Dante Falconeri came soon after the ambulance, his face pallid from fear. He embraced Lulu warmly, both of them relieved that their son was alive. Doctors told them that Rocco would fully recover, but he would need to stay overnight for observation. As Dante and Lulu sat at Rocco's bedside, The emotional weight of the day appeared to rest on them. Dante took a moment to thank Cody personally, recognizing that without his prompt efforts, the outcome may have been disastrous.